Crooked elections? Not on their watch, say the volunteers who are counting this year's ballots in the La Plata County Clerk's Office. You're watching the Local News Network, brought to you by the Durango Sports Club. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle. From the moment your ballot arrives at the La Plata County Clerk's Office, a system of checks and balances ensures that your vote counts, say volunteers who serve as the clerk's election judges. La Plata County Clerk Tiffany Parker calls her army of more than 80 volunteers election heroes for the work they do.
They are your friends and neighbors. They're community members that just want to be part of the election, and it's wonderful to see them and have them work together. I have, in fact, one of them turned 18 yesterday, so I've had an election judge from that age all the way up into almost 90. And they're amazing, hardworking people that just want to be part of our democratic process to ensure that every vote is cast and cast correctly.
Election judges have been counting ballots since Monday, October 19th, and the pandemic has spurred early voting this year. Parker reports that more than 30% of registered voters have turned in their ballots or voted in person since ballots were mailed earlier this month. That compares with an average return of only 15 to 20% during a typical week before Election Day. Although the pandemic sparked a national conversation about voter fraud because of expanded absentee voting and mail-in election practices, local election judges say the system's redundancies make fraudulent voting nearly impossible. Vote counting starts when a bipartisan team that includes a member from each political party picks up ballots from an official drop box and delivers them to the clerk's office. The envelopes are counted, then scanned to capture voter signatures for the clerk's computer system, and then counted again. Another group of bipartisan election judges compares each scanned signature with the signature on the voter registration record, a driver's license, or other official state documents that may exist in the state's electronic record system. If the signature is questionable, it's reviewed by other judges, then passed on to yet another team of judges if the first team can't verify the signature. If the signature ultimately is rejected, Parker contacts the voter to fix his or her ballot. Veteran election judge Chuck Owens, a member of the Democratic Party, says no judge can work in isolation. Members of both political parties and/or an unaffiliated judge must be present before signature verifications can be conducted. In fact, 2 Republican election judges waited for Owens to return from a short break before they turned on their computers.
I like the redundancy of the system. I love having the other people here. We can ask questions, they can look at it, and we can collectively decide to agree or to disagree. And then there are, like, say, at least 2 more levels where somebody else or other people are going to look at the signature. So the chances of fraud I just think it's non-existent for all intents and purposes on verifying the signature.
Once the signatures are verified, another team of judges opens the ballots, checks for irregularities, and counts them a third time. And finally, yet another team of election judges scans the ballots to count the votes. Republican election judge Tanya McKnight has worked on every step of the vote counting process and says she believes the checks and balances are what protect the integrity of your ballot.
It's really nice to know that one or a team of judges, they don't carry that ballot from start to finish. There's several different departments and different teams, so it's really nice to know that Colorado is so safe to vote in. I mean, there is just absolutely no fraud with all the different party affiliations, and there's poll watchers watching over us, and it's a really good process. I just really want people to feel confident in our process in Colorado. I can't say for any other state because this is where we're at, but you know, if you're voting in this state and this county, it's top notch.
And if all that work to count one ballot wasn't enough, election results aren't certified until after an audit is completed. If you've not voted, please be sure to drop off your ballot at an official ballot box or voter service center by 7 p.m. on Tuesday, November 3rd. Postmarks don't count. Parker said she will begin reporting county results starting at 7:30 p.m. on Election Day. You can follow La Plata County and state election results on the Secretary of State's website at sos.state.co.us. Thanks for watching this edition of the Local News Network. Listen to our news stories anytime, anywhere on your favorite podcast app. I'm Wendy Graham Settle.